Distinguished Service Award recipients. One of these Distinguished Service Award recipients has already received her award in advance of a ceremony, that celebration that took place down at Anchor House for her 20th anniversary. That's Chaplain Trish Alligood, but two others have not yet been presented. And so I'd like to hand it over to NAMMA President Paul Rosenblum, who can walk us through this. Paul, do you want me to replay the video now from Trish, or you can tell me when you would like me to play that?
I think we should do that one first, and after everybody's had a chance to view that one, then we'll go on to to David and Ruth's presentations.
So lest we don't want to re-present something that has already been officially presented. So what I'd like to play is just a few short moments of a video we recorded earlier this year with Trish Alligood, who is on the call today. Hello, Trish. And we'll hear from Trish and from David and from Ruth in just a few minutes. But I thought I'd just play the recording of what we did earlier, and you can be reminded of what was already said. Can you hear it now? Good, thanks.
It's always a wonderful thing for us to be able to recognize someone for long and distinguished service in Seafarers ministry. I do have a prepared statement to read, but first of all, let me just personally thank you for all of the work that you've done over the years. It's been a great blessing, I know, to all of the seafarers that have come through your port over the years. So let me read you our prepared statement. It gives me great pleasure to share that the Board of NAMMA wishes to recognize your 25 years of passion for and dedication to maritime ministry with a NAMMA Distinguished Service Award. As recognition for your exceptional commitment to maritime ministry, the NAMMA Distinguished Service Award represents a small token of appreciation for your work. Your personal examples of leadership, counsel, and concern for seafarers are of the highest standards of excellence and serve as an inspiration to us all. We are deeply thankful for your years of service to seafarers and wish you all the best in the future. Congratulations and well done, good and faithful servant. And should you desire, we would like to hear a little bit from you now about your experiences and what you can tell us about how you have gone through this wonderful time of ministry. Perhaps it serves as an inspiration to us.
Presentation, that was the presentation that was given to Trish earlier on this year in May, I believe. And then Trish did give some recorded comments, but those comments we can again hear live now when in just a few moments. But just know that Trish has received this award, and so on behalf of NAMMA, thank you very much, Trish. Next, I'll hand it back to Deacon Paul, and Deacon Paul, you can make the other presentations, and I'll stop sharing my screen.
Well, very good. Thank you, Jason. This is, as I said in the recording, I'll say it live again, this is a tremendous honor for me to be able to be participating in this award ceremony. Today we have two additional people who have done tremendous service to Seafarers ministry, to NAMMA over many, many years. And it is really an honor for me to be here to take part and to take my small part in this ceremony. The first of the people that we're going to honor is Reverend David Wells from the Houston International Seafarer Center. David has spent many years working there, toiling and working in that port, ministering to the seafarers, the many seafarers in one of the busiest ports in the United States. I have a personal recollection, and I'll apologize. Anything that occurred more than a month or so ago falls into the haze these days. But I do remember at my very first NAMMA conference, which was in Fort Lauderdale 8 or so years ago. I came there as a stranger, not knowing really very much about NAMMA. I think I refer to it now as a happy accident that I was there. That has turned out to be a wonderful, in several years, very many years now. David was one of the first people that I talked to who welcomed me into the organization. I have absolutely no recollection of what we talked about, but I do remember having very warm and friendly conversations with him throughout that period of time in Fort Lauderdale. And that is something that I will always remember. And so, David, it does give me great pleasure to share that the Board of NAMMA wishes to recognize your many years of passion for and dedication to the maritime ministry with a NAMMA Distinguished Service Award. As recognition for your exceptional commitment to maritime ministry, the NAMMA Distinguished Service Award represents a small token of appreciation for your hard work. Your personal examples of leadership, counsel, and concern for seafarers are of the highest standards of excellence and serve as an inspiration to all. We are all deeply thankful for your years of service to seafarers and wish you all the best in the future. Congratulations and well done, good and faithful servant. Now, David, when you replied to my email, you said that you would be at a loss for words today. Somehow I doubt that. So we would love it if you would share some of your thoughts about your experiences in the Seafarers ministry and NAMMA with us today.
Well, you know, I'm rarely at a loss for words, so I guess I'm not. Actually, in thinking about the last 23 years, I recalled 4 ship visits that I thought I'd share with you, and they'll be quick. But 2 of them are from the first year that I started ship visiting. And I remember going on a ship, and when I left the mess room, I was walking out the door to go toward the gangway, and a young Filipino seafarer in his early 20s came running up to me, grabbed my hand, knelt on his knees at my feet, and put my hand on his shoulder as he bowed, or on his forehead as he bowed his head, and said, "Father, bless me." Well, we Protestants don't normally give blessings in the way the Roman Catholics do. He knew I wasn't Roman Catholic, but it didn't matter to him. He wanted a blessing. And so I quickly said a prayer, blessed him, and then gave the sign of the cross on his forehead and ran back to the Seaman Center and said, "Rivers, how do you give a blessing? This guy asked me for a blessing, and he asked me what I did, and I told him, and he said, 'That's it. You did fine.'" The other memory is I remember when I went on ships, I had to take something. You had to give them a Bible. You wanted to have a prayer. You wanted to have this. You wanted to tell them about the Seafarers Center. It was always something I was taking to them, I thought. That was my first year. Well, I remember going into the mess room, and there were guys there, and I'd try to get a conversation going, and no one would talk very much. Oh, they'd answer me. They'd be polite, but they wouldn't talk very much. And then one day I happened to sit down. And after I sat down, you would think that the conversation would never end. They were talking, and they wanted me to stay, and I had to give them permission and tell them, "I have time for you," by sitting down. From that day forward, I made it a part of my routine. I always found a place on the ship to sit down. Sometimes in these recent years, I was sitting down in a mess room or smoke room by myself, but I still sat down and waited for a while until someone came up. Because what I've discovered is it's not what I am taking to them. It's what I am ready to receive from them or from God. And so my years have been trying to empty my own mind and self when I'm going on a ship to see what I might receive. and what might be offered to me through them and God in that moment. So to be a real presence. And I found that that has meant a lot to me. And then I would try and sense what skills come to play depends upon the individual. But it wasn't me giving a prayer. It wasn't me giving a worship. It wasn't me giving anything, but just being there. And then what would come would be at God's will and their will. Sometimes it was asking the right question. I went on a ship in the last few months, and I kept asking questions. They were kind of quiet, and there were Filipinos, but I asked the right questions. Said, have you got shore passes? Do you have a visa? There was yes to all of that. I said, have you been vaccinated? Yes. And then the Romanian officer listening to me came running up, and for 10 minutes, he was angry and speaking loud for the Filipinos as well. And he said to me, nobody cares about us. Nobody cares or listens to seafarers. And after about 5 or 10 minutes of his expressing his anger and frustration, I would try to intercede with a few kind words and a few other questions. And finally, we got a conversation going. And I said to him, what can I do for you? And there was this long silence. Nobody said a word. And I realized they had already gotten what they really needed, somebody to listen to them and to feel that they had been heard. I handed them my card and I said, I know you're not going to be here long, but if you come back to Houston, call me directly if you need to. I'll make an effort to try and do whatever you need. I went to another ship and I was able to help the crew. And it was small things. It wasn't anything all that great. Help them with shopping, help them with personal issues and things that came up. And after I left, the next day, I get a text from the cook. And in his broken English, he said to me, thank you for helping our crew. You are best of best friend. I will never forget that blessing that he gave me. He didn't call me a chaplain. He didn't call me a pastor. He called me a friend. And I realized that that is really what Jesus wants me to be a friend, a real friend. And for him to call me the best of best friend. I'm speechless to even think about it, because what more could a person give to you than that kind of friendship? And so I hope in the last 23 years, and I think I probably have had so many friends. Of course, I'm singing to the choir. You all know we can't remember everybody's names. We can't remember every event, but we know they happened. But I got one memory that a Burmese ship left me. I helped them do some shopping, nothing big again. And they came back 3 to 6 months later. It was the Kimball, Yokohama. I can only remember it because they gave me this. They brought me this from Burma. And it's got a note on it with the name of the ship. And I thought, oh my gracious, they're all Buddhist. They didn't have to give me anything, but they went out of their way so that 3 to 6 months later, they had something to give to me. I mean, those are the things that leave us speechless in this ministry. And I thank God for the opportunity that I have been given, and I'm given every day, to change and to find my spiritual life enriched, not just by God, but by God in the midst of these seafarers and through these seafarers. So I owe God and seafarers much of my life.
Well, David, I think I speak for everybody that we are so pleased that you were not at a loss for words today, because that has been a very, very inspiring message that you've given us, your memories of seafarers and all of the interactions you've had with them. So again, congratulations for all of the service, wonderful service you've done to them over the years. Our second recipient today is Ruth Sataro from Seamen's International House in New Haven and New London, primarily. And Ruth, I don't think we've had a lot of chances to speak personally over the years, but I think I know you quite well because I've read so many articles about your service in the SIH newsletter. And I read about these things all the time, and I wonder, and you've been a role model to me personally, reading about your dedication and all the things you do for the seafarers. And I also see in those articles the respect and love that Marsh and everybody else has for you there. So it is, again, a great honor to be here with you, at least on a computer screen, to give you this award. So I'll read you, it's the same award statement, and then if you will, you can give us your recollections about and some memories that you have for us. So Ruth, it gives me great pleasure to share that the Board of NAMMA wishes to recognize your many years of passion for and dedication to maritime ministry with a NAMMA Distinguished Service Award. As recognition for your exceptional commitment to maritime ministry, the NAMMA Distinguished Service Award represents a small token of appreciation for your work. Your personal examples of leadership, counsel, and concern for seafarers are of the highest standards of excellence and serve as an inspiration to all. We are so deeply thankful for your years of service to seafarers and wish you all the best in the future. Congratulations and well done, good and faithful servant. And if you wish, we would love to hear from you now.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. It is an honor to be with you here for this conference, and receiving this NAMMA Distinguished Service Award today is truly a great honor. It comes at a time when I am bringing to a close a 25-year career as port chaplain with Seafarers and International House. My years working with Seafarers have been the most interesting, challenging, and rewarding time of my life. I tend to be a little noisy when I get to the top of every gangway when the ship first comes in, because I usually shout, "Welcome, welcome, welcome to New Haven. We are so glad you are here. How can I help you?" That is the time usually I see the first smiles and everybody starts to gather around, and I have lots of questions. What can we do together? I have tried to be a listening ear and a soft shoulder to lean on to every seafarer who feels isolated, lonely, depressed, angry because he hasn't been paid, grieving the loss of a mother or a father, or rejoicing at the birth of a child he won't see for a long time. But then we have the happy times when we could go shopping and we could get in the van and laugh and sing and joke and have a wonderful time. But now during the pandemic, that has been a little hard. And so I've done a lot of shopping for them. I think I have bought hundreds of bags of Doritos and chocolate and a lot of Victoria's Secret lotion. NAMMA has been a big help and support to me since I attended my first conference in Fort Lauderdale, Florida in the year 2000. So we must have been in that class together, Paul. I have proudly watched NAMMA grow into the wonderful organization it is today. I have learned a lot through its programs of education and advocacy. It has helped me to do my work better, but most importantly, it has been a connection to all my colleagues in the ministry throughout the country. A way for us to share ideas and learn together and how we might do things better for this, to serve the seafarers. And so today I am very honored to receive this award. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trish, for those inspiring words. It is our honor to honor you today for all of the hard work you've done. And I'm sure moving forward, we'll miss you. We hope you stay in touch, maybe keep coming to the NAMMA meetings, perhaps
I hope so.
when we get there.
I hope so.
So that we retain the friendship that everybody has with you formed over the years. And finally, for this segment, I certainly would like to ask Trish Alligood to share her thoughts again with us so that we can hear her message of inspiration as well.
Sorry. I'm humbled by the award that you guys have given to me, and I'm grateful to God for the call on my life to come into this type of ministry to the seafarers and to the port workers. I'm also grateful to the many chaplains and directors that have mentored me along the way all these 25 years. I don't know a great many that are in the NAMMA because usually the directors went to NAMMA and I stayed here to run the center. But I am grateful. I've heard a lot of testimony about the ones that work around the world, and God has been good to each of us. He's helped us to persevere, especially through this pandemic. So we have to keep on keeping on for Jesus. Many stories over the years, so I'm sure they're just like stories that each one of you could tell as well. I love advocating for the seafarers, whether they're lonely, depressed, not fed, not paid. I had a few of those cases just recently, and praise God, he ended up getting his money. So I think praise goes to all of us, whether it's just 1 year of serving God in this ministry or whether it's 25 plus. So thank you so much for the service award.
You're very welcome, Trish. We are all so happy that you could join us again today to give us a few more words of inspiration. This award is certainly something that the three of you are well deserving of. You've made such a difference in the lives of countless seafarers. I like to tell people I meet that when I explain the ministry, that I now have friends all over the world, many of which I'll never see again. But you, certainly, the three of you, Ruth and Bill and Trish, have countless friends all over the world. And that is something that has made a big difference, not only in their lives, but in everybody, the lives of their families, everybody's life there. We all need to have those friends around the world these days. So again, thank you, Trish and Ruth and David, for all of your hard work these many years. We hope that you will be our friends for years to come as well. Well, thank you all very much.
Will you join with me, everyone on the line? It's not the same as being in person, but please join with me in thanking our three recipients of the Distinguished Service Award this year.
Thank you from Halifax. Thank you from
Thank you.
Houston.
Thank you from Baltimore.
Thank you so much, everyone. And Trish has already received hers, but what I'm holding up is the limited edition NAMMA Challenge coin, which is not available for purchase, not available in any other way than it is discerned by the executive committee of the North American Maritime Ministry Association. We've had a few different people receive this award in the last number of years. You can go on our website and find out all the award recipients. If you know someone in your organization who is deserving of this award, please do write to Deacon Paul, and we would love to consider, the executive committee would love to consider the nominations. Thank you so very much, Ruth and Trish and David, for all of your service. I note that if you put their years together, 25 years for Trish and 25 years for Ruth and 23 years for David, it's almost 75 years. It's an amazing, amazing legacy of service. So thank you to all of you.